Well, y'all, welcome back. Set up out here at a really quiet spot. It's kind of late already. I've actually been here for a couple hours just hanging out, and thought I'd get a fire going and crack open a drink. But it's going to be a pretty chill night tonight. And then in the morning, I've got a cool spot that I'd like to check out. It's still a little bit of a drive from here, so I didn't want to try to go hit that tonight, as late as it already is, but we will check that out in the morning. For now, we're going to crack this guy open, and this is a Topo Chico hard seltzer sparkling water, and it's strawberry guava flavor. When I was up in Dinosaur National Monument, I tried one of these that was, I believe it was called their ranch water, and I thought it was pretty good. So I figured I'd give this strawberry one a try. Why not? You know what I'm saying? So crack this open. I like strawberry, so figured we'd give it a shot. It's not bad. A lot less seltzer than I expected. It's not bad though. Although I do prefer a beer. I'm always out to try something new and different. And this is what I could find that was different at the place that I stopped. So here we are. Cheers, y'all. Well, the fire's burning good. The sun has kind of started going down. As you can see, it's a bit darker behind me. The sunset's going on. And I just tried to get a thumbnail. So I came over here and I turned the lights on to my truck. Look at that. Can you guys see? Oh, you can't really see it. You can't see it. Especially over there in that corner. I bet there's 50 something flies on the ceiling in there. They're hard to see with the camera. I just lit this up. Hopefully that'll kind of drive them out, but I'm going to shut these lights off. Grab my hoodie from under the bed while we're in here. Make sure this thing is going. I know you're not really supposed to run these inside, but it'll be fine. Maybe we'll take my hoodie, flop it around, try to get 90% of these guys out. I can't believe how many are in here. Probably hear them. That's crazy. These lights shot off. Alright. Come here, you can see that campfire burning behind me. Alright. I better close this thing up for the time being. I do have the side windows open, but I don't know, maybe I should give it a minute, see if that thermocell works to drive them out with the lights off. That's the most flies I've ever seen in there. That kind of sucked. And I know you guys can't see me because of the way the light bees. There we go. I'm gonna get dinner going here pretty quick. This camera's not good enough. I might switch over to my cell phone and get a shot, but check out the moon if you can see it on there. Yeah, it doesn't look anywhere near as big on this camera either, but let's grab some dinner. So in an effort to try something slightly different, just to see if it would work, I picked up these Hot Pockets. And these are supposed to be frozen. You put them in the microwave, or I guess you can put them in the oven. But what we're gonna do is wrap these in foil and kind of set them down there. I'm gonna set them off to the side and we'll just give it some time. They should cook up. I might spray the inside of the foil with a little bit of cooking spray if I have some, which I should. But these are big and bold, 50% larger, and they are chicken bacon ranch with creamy ranch, applewood smoked bacon, and reduced fat mozzarella. So, ranch blasted crust. We're gonna get these guys. I'm just gonna do both of them because I can't keep them frozen. I'm sure it's not that big of a deal, but I'm gonna get both of them shoved in the fire. Alright, so luckily I did have some Pam in there. There's a moth into my Reynolds wrap. I don't want these things to stick to it. There we go. I think we're just going to go ahead and set this over here, spin it and flip it. It should be plenty warm to cook that up. Well, it's steaming. I think it should be good. I've had this on the fire for probably 45 minutes. The last 15-ish minutes I put it directly into the coals and flipped it a couple of times. So we'll see. Maybe I should keep these gloves on. We'll see how this turned out. It should have worked fine. If it did, it's kind of something that I thought about could be useful in a motorcycle camping setting. If you don't have a cooler, you could just go grab these, ride to your destination, and then cook them up. They're browned. They're browned a little bit on the top at least. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see if they feel. Oh yeah, they're warm. They're really warm. And they're crispy. It's crispied. I pick it up and it's gooey in there and it's steaming. And it smells good. I think this is a win. Even without having a freezer, they probably sat in my cooler for about 6 hours. So they were pretty firm, but You could definitely tell they had started to melt. Yeah, I've got to give this some time to cool down. It's been a beautiful night. It's a pretty clear sky. Not a ton of stars though, because the moon is very bright. There's an owl somewhere over here that's been hooting. There's been coyotes in the distance. And in this little cut of trees behind me, something ran through there, and it was fairly large. And it was right there, like right at the edge of the tree line. But let's give this a shot. Oh yeah. That's done perfectly. It's steaming. I am completely satisfied with that. Why don't I throw a couple more logs on this fire so you can get her going again. Only got 3 pieces of wood left. What? I got 4 pieces of wood, I guess. See if that does anything. Maybe we'll stick a paper towel in there. That should go up. Get that fire cooking again. It's only about 8:30. The sun is obviously going down much earlier. Oh, come on. There we go, get going. Well, last bite. Well, I have to say it's not a fancy dinner, but it's good to know that it's easy to do. And the only trash that I really have is this tin foil. I burned the cardboard box in the fire already, so I'm gonna hang out and watch these last few pieces of wood burn down, and then get headed in the truck to watch a movie. So I'll see you guys in the truck. Alright guys, I'm going to watch something on Netflix called A Trip to Infinity, and it's more of a documentary type of show. So this says, eminent mathematicians, particle physicists, and cosmologists dive into infinity and its mind-bending implications for the universe. So it should be somewhat interesting. I enjoy some of these Netflix or I mean, any kind of weird documentary. If it's a mind trip, then it's even better. Makes you think more, kind of thing. Oh, I gotta get up. Well, good morning. The sun has just popped over the hill and it's nice and bright. Oh. 56 degrees. Oh, man. Make some coffee quick. And we'll get on the road and go check out the spot this morning that I wanted to see. It's still about an hour away from here, but we'll go see what it's all about. French press coffee is ready to go. says it's about 64 degrees out there right now. So we're about 15 minutes away from the spot. Stay tuned, y'all.
Your destination is on the left.
And here we are, but this isn't the only part of it. There's actually something, you got to walk up the hill here. But I'll read this to you guys. We are at the point of beginning of the public land surveys of the 6th principal meridian. And this is a 3-state area. I'm in Nebraska, Missouri. It's going to be Nebraska, Missouri, and Kansas, I think, is what the tri-state is here. But I'll read this to you guys. It says, the Kansas-Nebraska Act of May 30, 1854 created the territories of Nebraska and Kansas, which had to be surveyed before settlement could proceed. In November 1854, Captain Thomas J. Lee of the U.S. Army Topographic Engineers determined the 40th degree of north latitude along the Missouri River. On May 8, 1855, the cast iron monument on the bluff above was erected by Charles A. Manners to mark the beginning of the baseline, which is the 40th parallel, forming the Nebraska-Kansas boundary. That's what we should be able to walk up here and see. In 1855 and 56, Manners surveyed westward from the cast iron monument along the baseline 108 miles to establish the initial point of the 6th principal meridian. The initial point controls the system of sections, townships, and ranges of the public land surveys in Nebraska, Kansas, and parts of Colorado, Wyoming, and South Dakota. The original surveys of Nebraska were completed in 1883, and all land transactions, patents, deeds, and easements within Nebraska are filed with the Register of Deeds of each county and reference the corners set during these surveys. Yeah, this is cool. So this is kind of where Nebraska started right here as they went west, I guess. I'm gonna lock my truck up here, and then we've got to take a hike down there and up the side of the hill. Just walking down the middle of this kind of deserted highway down here. Super quiet. So you have a huge bluff on this side, and then on this side is the river. And if I kept driving down that road, I think that would be the actual point. Yep, here we are. So there's no marking right here anywhere. It's just highway. But you have this little trail that goes up, and you can see my truck is quite a ways over there where the actual sign is at. But let's head over here. Trail is kind of overgrown, a little sloppy. It zigzags up. Oh, and goes way up there. Yep, way up there. Well, we've made it up to the top, and I guess technically right now I'm standing in Kansas, but if you see here, that's Kansas right there, 40 north, 40 degrees north. Now I'm in Nebraska, and on this side it says 1854. And the cool thing about this is, yeah, it's made out of iron, and it's probably stuck. I bet it's stuck just as deep in the ground. And this was probably, oh, this concrete pad was poured in 1988. But there's a couple of benches and things up here. The trail is way more steep than I expected. And it, let me just set this coffee down. I brought my coffee with me. So you saw how far I walked down the road to get onto the trail. But if you look right here, and maybe you'll be able to see it, but the road that I was standing on, that I parked on, the marker's straight down there. You can't see it. Right there is a road, is that road that goes back to the river over there. So my truck's right at the bottom of this hill. But let's go check out this information plaque. And there's a guest book in here we'll have to sign. I'm not going to read this all to you guys. I'll read a little bit about the cast iron monument, but here, I'll see if I can, if you guys want to pause this and read that. And then I think that gets continued over here. It's going to be kind of hard to see with the reflections, but if you want to pause and read that. Also that one. I'll read some of this one here. All right, so this, wow, this says, this 500 to 600 pound obelisk shaped iron monument was cast in St. Louis, Missouri in 1854 and was placed at this location 100 feet above the road on May 8, 1855 by Charles Manners. The location was determined from astronomical observations by Captain Thomas J. Lee of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers on November 17, 1854. A temporary 7-inch square oak post was established at this point by John P. Johnson in November 17th of 1854, and the hollow 1-inch thick cast iron shaft is 6 feet tall with a flange base of 16 by 16. Directly above this flange is the shaft 11 by 11 at the base and tapers to 7 by 7 at the top. The letters are 1 1/4 inch high, with the words Nebraska on the north side, Kansas on the south side, 1854 on the east, and 40 North Lat on the west. The stones partially buried in the concrete triangles are the original 1854 witness monuments set by Johnson and are set to the compass cardinal points north, south, east, and west and are spaced 10 feet from the monument. Okay. So there's this one, which I can see, and you can see there was something set in here. And I guess over there, yeah, there's points on each side. Huh. And there must be a dirty one down here. Yep, you can barely see it down there. I guess they all had some post at some point. Yeah, you can just see it in the center. That's cool, y'all. All right, there's a little bit to this sign left. Some errors by Johnson in the original survey in 1854 resulted in Mr. Manners having to resurvey the baseline to a point 108 miles west near Mahaska, Kansas, where a red sandstone was set to mark the initial point of the 6th principal meridian. This baseline was later extended to the Colorado-Utah border, making it the longest baseline in the United States. From the intersection point of this baseline and the 6th PM, and the 6th principal meridian, the states of Nebraska, Kansas, and most of Colorado and Wyoming, and some of South Dakota were surveyed. I guess they're just talking like the straight lines that make the state borders. Other places that are along the 40th parallel are Philadelphia, Boulder, Colorado, Ankara, Turkey, and through the center of Peking, China, through the center of Spain, the southern tip of Italy, and the far northern part of Japan. The original General Land Office surveys in Nebraska were completed in 1883, except for a few omitted sections, and the monument pictured above is now on the National Register of Historic Places, which they just have a picture of this one. I know it's kind of hard to see with this light, but yeah, this is really neat. So I'm pointing straight north now, I guess. North, south. Huh. Just hanging out in Kansas. I could be in both states at the same time. All right, let me sign this guest book. Yeah, see, there's a Spidey right there. I'll start a new page. Ten, 6, 20 deuce. There you go, guys. Come sign the book. Well, I'm gonna snap some pictures, and then I'll see you guys back at the truck. Well, y'all, it's been a good one. The campfire meal last night really wasn't bad at all. That's definitely, like I said, something I'm going to use in the future, especially for some motorcycle trips or something like that. And this is really cool too. I wasn't expecting the trail to be so long, but you have to walk way down and then way back up. And yeah, it's like directly above me, but there's so many trees on the bluff and it's so tall that you can't see any of it from down here. But yeah. That's Kansas right there. Well, technically I'm like straddling the border kind of with my truck too. This road, I think right here, splits it. But I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. I had a good time, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. But stay tuned for the next adventure, guys. I'll see you in a bit.